Welcome back, survivors. I'm the Survivalist, and we return to Abyssus using the combat bow alongside a turret build, as we're trying to go through, I think it's... trying to remember what this would be called, like... Okay, here we go, that's interesting. Okay, how much gold do I have? Yeah, this is the one where I wasn't sure, like, how much the effect of this actually happens. Like, it says gain 75% extra gold and access to a merchant, so I'm actually only going to do the buffed enemies, because I don't have that much gold, but I don't know if the 75% is you gain that off of, like, you gain that through the level, or it gives you, like, a lump sum at the end of it. But we're back into the Sanctuary, which is where, like, the real difficulty spike of things happens, and we'll see how we do. Yeah, as you can see, I'm already getting a few hits coming in pretty easily my way. Okay, that cleared out, but yeah, I took a fair bit of damage just to begin with there. The Sanctuary, it feels like everything ramps up very quickly in it, and you will have to be very on your toes. You basically cannot stay still at all, or you're in for some punishment. Okay, that cleared through all right, didn't get any hits in. And I'm actually glad we have this here to start, so that way I know we'll have the refresher somewhere along the line. So it's dumb, but I'm actually going to do the 800 as well, and then go with no syringes for now. I'm at 182 right now, so we'll keep an eye on that. That we might as well break. I might change out our fan charm for another one if we see it, which is the ability has 3% chance to not use a cooldown. Yeah, there we go. Now we're seeing the blood orbs, crowd control effects really shining. That's done. Get our blessing. I think I might go for fire, since that is the one that we've been a bit lacking on. And yeah, see, we're only at 197 now. I feel like the gain 75% gold doesn't seem to trigger right. Either that, or like it comes through as a different amount, and yeah, I think I'm going to go for the 75 again, because like access to the merchant I'm not all that keen on, because we're not getting that much gold in. Okay, so it's 197, so technically if we're getting 75%, we should be getting, like, 150 gold, I would argue. Or I don't know if it's like, it means like for the rest of your run, you'll get that. Yeah, you guys. Those are the enemies that I hate the most. Well, it's either them or the big golems. Those two are just very difficult. One is because, like, the armor that original one has on that we were just fighting at the end. Very health tank-wise, but the golems, or the really tall ones... Ah, shoot. I could have easily avoided taking that. Okay, there, you're down. God, I am really low on health here. I think I am probably going to have our revive proc before we're actually where we really need it. That's the gamble of taking the health ones. And what do we got? Blessing on his ability have 30% chance to trigger twice. Damage increased by 10 and duration by 50. That actually might not be bad once we are, like, if we do make it to bosses. We'll probably make it to the... I just have to try to keep well away from... Oh, crap. Okay, this is not good. Yeah, there is our resurrection proc back. Now, the reason I hate this one is because it can be hard to get to your actual target. Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, this was the area, or is the area. Oh, and there's still a bit more to go. Okay. Managed to survive that, just kind of barely, though. And we still have another area... Oh, okay, we have the mini-boss, and we're at 276 now. Yeah, so maybe it's you gain 75% of gold through the level. Instead of, like, a lump sum at the end, you get that from, like, what you've gotten saved up. Okay. Yeah, I took a lot of damage there, but I figured it was more worth it just to get through it faster if we could. Break that. Yeah, we're 284, so I think it is you gain 75% extra gold going through the level. Let's go for more blood. And maybe we'll go for contiguous. And what is this? Okay. Oh... Yeah, I'm going to go for it. I mean, it might be tough, but I want the blessing and the blessing upgrade, because at this point, those are going to be the biggest things to help really propel our damage forward. I think it should mean that the enemies won't have those, so it might actually be easier getting through them. Okay, there we go. Clear that out. I don't know if it'd be worth it to spend for the wishing well. We'll try one. Nothing. Yeah, no, probably wasn't worth it. I mean, definitely wasn't worth it since we got nothing out of it, but I think that's the trap I always fall into when it comes to that wishing well, is thinking that maybe the one will be worth it when it usually isn't. Okay, that cleared out. We got an upgrade. Yeah, we'll go for that. Hemorrhage can be much more powerful, or more potent now. And another room. Oh, and the worst modifier that you can get. Or, like, the worst room achievement, in my opinion. As you're basically stuck following this for a good ways. Okay, at least that's, tackled. And that's that clear. Okay. Oh. We should be in luck. That's going to be a bit more gold to help us out come the next merchant. And we do have... Okay, no, we don't have the discount, but we'll at least be able to get a little bit more as we go through here. A little bit more max health. Because thankfully, with our turrets also taking down so many enemies, we've been building up a steady amount of max health too. We're at over 1,200. And it is the mini-boss now. Now this might be a bit of a rough go because of the options I picked on it. Okay, actually, I think that went better than our original go of him when he didn't have any modifiers. Yeah, break that, because that's not going to be all that helpful. And that gives us a couple more blessings and an upgrade to work with. Kind of thinking maybe we'll go for that. And go for frozen enemies, 50% chance to take weak spot damage. So I think we've got most of what we want out of the blood. Weak spot chance players increased by 50. Let's get that up to guaranteed. And see how that helps us out. And I'm actually not worried at all about the boss here. The boss for the third stage is actually pretty easy to deal with. In some ways, it's actually easier than the second stage boss, but getting up to him is a bigger struggle.
Open sesame.
Okay, so what do you have on offer? Mr. Boom, Head Start. That's what I was looking for there. So I think what we'll do is we'll take Freebie for sure, because that's going to be ridiculously strong for us. Smash that. And then maybe we'll see... Yeah, I think I might want to aim for Frost or Fire. Maybe we'll try going for Frost. Frozen enemies take 40% more damage. That'll be very helpful. I might actually even be able to increase that to... I don't know if it would double to take 80% more damage with the Blessing upgrade, but we'll see. And now, down to face this guy again. The turrets might not be as powerful here, given, like, they seem to sometimes have, like, some hit detection or, like, targeting issues. But with the Frost and Fire mix we've got, I think that won't really matter too much. And I can also just spam... Oh, yeah. I can spam turrets out like crazy. Yeah, that's kind of... It's kind of like a... I think it's a bug that happens with, with the turrets and the freebie. Yeah, got a few hits taken in there, but nothing too bad. And just gotta get to the safe zone here. And he's already in the immune phase, so we'll just toss out a bunch more turrets. Let's see. Oh yeah, this one's actually not too bad to deal with at all. Do-do. Do-do. There we go. And break that. And there we go. Yeah, now that we've got basically infinite turrets if we want, we're going to probably get a few things more easily cleared out. Oh, I might actually go for Blessed over Fan. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Reason being is I think we'll get the damage increase will be better than like the projectiles that might not actually connect. So we'll tap that, and we're now into the Royal Abyss, the final level. And we'll see if the door is actually open to where the plasma launcher would be. Yeah, that's... oh, only 6 seconds from that. Okay, top ourselves off with that. Upgrade that, so now frozen enemies take 80% more damage. And... okay, plasma door... or the plasma launcher door is locked off. So we were too slow on that. I think taking my time to, like, discuss and go through, like, what blessings I would take and why... the game... oh no, that chest sealed up, that's right. Now, the game isn't all that generous with, like, your time for such. Like, there are certain modifiers where the time will only count down while you're in combat, and others where it will steadily count down for, like, your entire run's length. And this is, I think, the Sanctuary Elite, so this guy might... yeah, he's gonna be a little bit annoying. Oh, wow, down they go. I guess once the turret started kicking in with his actual health exposed, it went down fast. Break that, get that. I do kind of wish there was a way to get, like, a breakdown of, like, what your total damage amount is, or, like, damage percent, because, like, I don't know if Blessed would have been better than, like, the charm I just broke, which was you gain, I think it's 2% damage per second, and it caps out at, like, say, 50% damage boost. But now we're in for the last boss and its last phase, which I don't think we'll have any problems with the first two phases. Like, as we saw last week, they're nothing special. But the last phase can be very tough if you don't have a very, very strong build. There's a lot of parts of it that don't really feel that good to play against. Yeah, like this all stays the exact same as it was. Oh, dang, yeah. Okay, the turrets are really chewing him up. Yeah, and there's the slice through the sky. Okay, jump into that ring. And then we can easily jump over those. And then let that... no, shoot. Okay, try to get over before that got out. Okay, so there we go. He is... okay, that's phase 2 done. Just going to collect these for the goodies. And I apologize for the flashbang. And now it's going to be a bit different, as you see. This takes us to the sort of final phase, or I guess kind of technically final 3 phases. It's close to a whole new fight, but it's also a very, very difficult one because of a number of things that happen here. Yeah, like he summons these star drops, which are... oh crap. That's the one I hate the most. Ah, crap. He summons, like, a black hole, but there's no way I know of that you can actually, like, get out of its pull without, say, like, a very specific charm or something. I thought it might have been the case of, like, you need to have, like, say, focus your damage on a single spot or something? But it doesn't seem to be that's the case for, like, how you get out of this. Like, as you can see, all it does is suck you in and constantly deal damage at you. It's the worst thing about this fight, hands down. They need to change it, in my opinion. It'd be different if it was, again, you knew what the counter is to contending with it. But as far as I'm aware, there's nothing that'll actually do that. And then... this basically turns into nothing but a big platforming section for a long time here. Yeah, see, the game I think throws in too much platforming into boss fights and takes away from the experience. Because we died on that. They need to divide it. Have focused platforming parts and focused shooting parts. Because a lot of the bosses have like these mixes, it can be frustrating because you're trying to focus on one, but the other's what screws you. This secret phase, though, should not exist having that black hole, or there should be a much more directed way of how you counter it. That's the biggest issue of Toraka Unleashed, is that fight, is... you can't do anything that I know of to actually offset this black hole effect. It doesn't seem to be a damage thing you have to get through. It doesn't seem to be there's a certain target. It just sucks you right in, and you're basically done. It's why I don't do a lot of this game with, like, past this point anymore. Because it's just, it gets to that, and it's just so takes away everything from the fight. It'd be different if, like, there were certain spots on the ground you could see you have to go into to avoid it. But as far as I know, there's nothing that actually counters that. You either have to have a build that does super high damage all the way to burn them through those, or you have to have a lot of your syringes saved up and even your revive ready. It's just not a very well-designed last fight, in my opinion. And as much as there's, like, the spectacle of it, it takes away from the experience having that being so arbitrary of you can't do anything against it. But we'll see if you guys want to see another weekend of Abyssus to round things off. There are weapons like the disc thrower, the combat bow, the plasma launcher, or, well, I guess the disc thrower and the plasma launcher that we didn't really show off at all. I don't know if I went through, like, things like the Tesla gun or the revolver, stuff like that when we last played. But we'll see what you guys think of these couple of weekends, and if you want to see more or not for just one more weekend. We've kind of tapped out all of the content there is currently in the game. I think the most fun comes basically doing your normal runs up till basically taking off Abyssal Leviathan so that way the last boss doesn't have that a bunch of cheap shots at you. Makes the game the most fun. I think that needs a heavy redesign, and because it didn't have access into, like, early access to it, maybe that's why it's such a rough fight, is because you don't really have enough feedback for the fight, people getting to it. But my opinion is that that last fight definitely needs some work. I'm fine if you want to have, like, some platforming sections in boss fights, but it can feel like it's... the best way I think to handle it is, like, how the Sanctuary fight is, or that third boss. You have some where it's actually fighting him directly, and if you want to have platforming, it's like a side thing that you have to get through in a timely manner to get back to it. that back and forth works pretty well. Throwing in the you have to know where your footing is, where you're going, alongside managing the attacks coming your way and try and get damage out at the same time, not so much. That's where I think the second boss through the runs is a little more difficult. And, like, aside from, like, the last boss's final form there, I'd probably say the second boss is one of the harder ones. I don't think there's any attacks that he has that hit super hard, but it's just trying to make sure you get yourself positioned so often, so frequently, so the poison effects that can trigger on you don't happen, is where, like, the hard part of it comes in. But beyond that, we've shown off old levels, seen, I think, 2 out of the... I think there's only one enemy we haven't seen yet, which is, like, the elite on the, in the Royal Abyss. There are the 3 paths. We've went down the middle and the right. There's still one on the left we haven't seen yet, but... Again, we'll see if you guys want to have another weekend of it or not. For now, though, thank you guys so much for joining me on this episode of the series. If you did like the video, be sure to give it a like. And if you have any comments, tips, or tricks, be sure in the comments right down below. Until I see you all in the next video or episode, survivors, please remember, as always, to take care and stay alive.